Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's Wednesday, the 19th, by the way, at 12 noon. So if it isn't Wednesday, the 19th at 12 noon, it means you are watching on playback. Welcome. Daryl, I'm going to share this now to the Solar Holiday Forum. Please take over and introduce Christine as well, please.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Pete. Thank you for having me again on your wonderful PFC TV. So just a real quick one from me. Obviously, as you know, we're doing our first, not just one, but two hosted trips this April on the Royal Indian Odyssey for solo passengers and PFC members only. So it's exclusive to us. With that, Peter, as we know, you can't be in two places at the same time, and you've got a really busy year ahead from a hosting point of view. So I'd like to introduce Christine Vickers, who's was a regular PFC member, has hosted one of our trips before, and she's going to be hosting the second trip that we're doing in April on the Royal Indian Odyssey. So thanks for coming on the TV show today, Christine.
Hello, everyone. So I'm really looking forward to this trip. It's going to be very interesting. Lots of new places to visit, lots of things to do.
What I would say, Daryl, to everybody, if you're just joining us, because we're all joining us now, this is a great opportunity to ask any questions. We're going to try and answer any questions anyway, but a great opportunity to ask Christine, Daryl, or myself any questions. I'm going to be asking lots of questions to Daryl because Daryl has been to India. So a great opportunity to do that. And obviously, we're talking about exactly what the trip is, Daryl.
Yeah, no, certainly, Peter. And I mean, like I say, as you mentioned, I went to India in October. I'd never been to India before. I went there, my expectations, I wasn't sure what to expect. And I came away, as you know, on our PFC TV show not so long ago, blown away. It's by far the best escorted tour I've ever been on. The country itself is absolutely stunning. And I only did a snippet of what you guys are actually going to be doing. So you have got your tour is just fantastic. You're going to get to experience real India. You're going to get to experience the trains, which is huge. You're going to go and see the wonderful Taj Mahal. I'll talk about that in a bit more detail shortly. But yeah, the trip just looks superb. And to be going away with like-minded solo travelers, all kind of wanting to see these spectacular sights and share memories with, like you say, one another is just absolutely brilliant. And Peter, one of the things for you and Christine, yes, you're the hosts, but the great thing is you're going to have excellent tour managers and excellent local guides. So you're going to get so much information from these guys telling you the history of all these magnificent buildings and everything you're seeing, but also what you'll get top-notch service as well. And the Indians cannot do enough for you. So you will be well looked after from start to finish. I can assure you that.
Exciting. It really is. I know, Christine. I mean, I'm literally just a couple of weeks away and I'm going. Just to let everybody know, what we will do is that about a week before each of our holidays, our admin department, we will send out an email and we will set up a WhatsApp group. We will have a WhatsApp group for our individual holidays, which means that we can talk to each other. So, for example, when I'm in Heathrow Airport, Terminal 3 is where I'm flying from. When I've gone through there and I find a nice place for coffee or some bite to eat, I can go, hey guys, hey ladies, this is where I am. Please come and say hello. And of course, we can sort of chat to each other beforehand as well, meet each other beforehand. So we were both set up a WhatsApp group. Christine, I know you do that yourself for a lot of your holiday trips as well.
Yes. Yeah, it's a great way of staying in touch. If you wander off and get yourself a little bit lost, it's like, hey, come and help me. And yeah, we can all find each other out again.
Yeah, I love the WhatsApp groups as well, Peter, just because sharing photos, because you know what it's like. Yeah, during the day, you share to the WhatsApp group, and it's a great way to communicate with one another. And like you say, stay in touch afterwards as well. So yeah, no, lovely idea.
So Daryl, the question is, of course, what are the most important tips do you have for us as far as going to India is concerned? That's the first question I want to ask because I haven't been. I know Christian hasn't been yet. So, what are the most important tips from you that you've learned?
Right. So my first one is currency. Okay, so the Indian rupee is a closed currency, so you can only purchase it when you're out there. So as soon as I got to Delhi airport, I went over to the currency foreign exchange office and changed up my money at the airport. So as you come through, you'll get to the baggage claim. You're flying Virgin, Peter, aren't you? If I'm
Yes,
right in saying,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when you get through, so I flew Virgin, so that's lucky for everybody. So as you go to the baggage belt, at the back of where you're collecting your luggage, there's a foreign exchange unit, so you can exchange your money there. Now, what I would suggest, don't make the mistake I made. Do not get US dollars, because all you're going to do is you're going to be converting from sterling to US dollars and then US dollars to Indian rupee. So I would just take sterling change, okay? For tipping, and this is where you've got to be careful, is you do need low denominations. So it might be worth, if I was anybody, is getting maybe $51 bills when you're out and about doing your shop in the next couple of weeks, just for tipping, okay? Because tipping, you don't want to be tipping more than $1. And the reason why, even the local guides will tell you this, is if you tip them too much, say you tip someone, I don't know, say £5 or £10, they expect, everybody else will expect that. So you need to
When
keep
you say
tipping down.
dollar, tipping dollar, I'm slightly confused on that one.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So what I'm just saying is, just for tipping, get
Yeah.
$51 bills. Okay. So when you're out and about next week, maybe if you're on Marks and Spencer's,
Get some US dollars.
Get some $1. You don't need anything else,
Right.
because you can take sterling over to India and exchange that for the bigger notes. But for the small tipping, I would take some $1 bills.
So $51 bills is a
Yeah.
really good idea. So we've
Yeah.
got that, and we can do
Yeah.
that for the smaller, and they're happy that they're happy
Yeah,
to
yeah,
receive the
happy with
$1.
that. Yeah. So just as you go, if you're having any help with your luggage or anything like that, and you just feel like you want to give them something, then that's what I would suggest. Okay.
Great tip.
Yeah. So from the money point of view, so if I just recap that, because I went a bit off on a tangent. So just to start, I would take any money you want to exchange. And I kind of worked out when I was out there, not that I spent this, Peter, because India's relatively not too bad unless you have a drink. I think I worked out £75 a day spending money, but I didn't spend that because all your meals are included anyway. But that's how I kind of calculated it to myself. I took £75 a day over the course of, like you say, 10 days, £750 spending money. If I spend more than that, that's up to me if I'm going to buy stuff. But that's how I calculated it. But I only changed up £500 at the foreign exchange. And then, like I said, that then, as I went, I had the cash on me. And there are ATMs. The tour managers are very good. And also, when you go to some of these historic sites, there's always people doing foreign exchange on site. It's quite a mad system. It'll be some guy, and they'll give you rupees for obviously British sterling. So, but your tour managers, yet again, this is where they come in, and that they know where to go.
My question would be, what would you be spending the money on?
So this is the thing. A lot of people, especially when you go to places like Jaipur, you've got all the markets, all the silks, all the scarves. So you will find that some people want to buy stuff when they're over there, i.e., like you say, Indian clothing, Indian silk scarves, and cashmere scarves as well. If they want to do that, then yeah, by all means. An alcoholic drink, because India's not really a country that drinks loads and loads. So you only really have alcohol in the hotels, but you know what it's like when you're having your dinner. You may want a glass of wine or a beer, and that can be up to about £8 or £9 for a beer or a glass of wine. So just bear that in mind as well, because you're staying in good standard hotels, so you will have to pay a premium.
Yeah, fantastic. That's a great first tip on that side of things. Okay, Daryl. Clothing.
So yeah, clothing, I always say light clothing. Obviously, when I say light, it's just because it can get quite warm out there. So cotton. I'm just trying to think because it's difficult for me speaking from a gentleman's perspective. But what you do want to do is you want to make sure you've always got something to cover your shoulders, because if you're going into a temple of any sort, then you need to make sure of that. And the same men and ladies as well, is just anything that you can do, like shorts wise, where there's potential to cover your legs. But when you go into, say, the Sikh temple, they will give you like a sarong, so you're fine there as well, Peter. But clothing, you just need airy stuff that's light, because it will get quite warm when you're out there. And if it gets humid, like you say, you don't want anything too kind of that's going to get you too hot and sticky.
Yeah. What about bites, things like that? Flies and mosquitoes and things like that.
I didn't suffer at all, but I applied, like I say before, I didn't have any injections before I went. That was my choice, but I didn't have any. I just sprayed myself in the morning with mosquito spray, and I did the same before I went to bed. And I didn't have any bites at all. So I was very, very fortunate. What I would say to everybody is there's a couple of things on top of that. What I was very good at is stuff like hand sanitizer. So I made sure I had a couple of bottles of that. So I would suggest everybody take hand sanitizer and some form of antiseptic wipes, because just after your return, or if you've been to the toilet, you're covering yourself from a hygiene point of view as well. So bites, just a good mozzie spray. If you want to plug something in, some people have the mozzie bands. Quite a few of the ladies on my trip had those kind of, they look a bit like this actually, Peter, these bands. And
do they need to be purchased before we go?
Yeah, I would suggest so. Yeah, because you don't want to be hunting around for that stuff. That stuff you can pick up in your local Boots Superdrug.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just bought a good standard mozzie spray. Obviously, suntan lotion is going to be key this time, because you're going to be on your feet a lot. You're going to be seen a lot. And like you say, if it does get hot out there, so I would definitely make sure you've got good sunscreen as well.
And hats and things like that.
Hats. Yeah, sunglasses. I just think, I mean, for me, with India and with touring in general, escorted touring, you're on your feet a lot. You're seen a lot. And you want to absorb as much as possible. So keeping yourself as healthy as possible. So drinking lots of water, sunscreen.
And they will provide bottled water for us.
Oh, yeah. So when you're on the bus, they're very, very good. And to be fair, everybody's like, oh, don't drink the Indian water and stuff. What I did in the evening, so this is my top tip as well. When you come to brushing your teeth, everybody's like, oh, do I brush my teeth under the water? What I did is I did brush my teeth under the water, but I took Listerine with me. Okay. Obviously, it's a mouthwash. It's got so much kind of alcohol to kill all the germs. And I was just making sure I used that every night and every morning as well. And to be fair, Pete, when I went on a trip, and there was just short of 20 of us, I think it was, not one person got Delhi belly. And we were all, just because the hygiene standards, we just maintained our hygiene standards throughout. And that's really important. And what everybody did so well is drink a lot of water. And I think that really played a part. But obviously, good bottle.
And what about water and teas and coffees and milks in teas and coffees?
So this is a thing. When I was flying out, I got talking to some Indian guys who were in the seat in front of me. And they said, look, if you can stay away from dairy, I'd suggest it. They said yogurt's okay, like morning for breakfast, because obviously that's got kind of the good bacterias in. But I kind of stayed away from dairy the whole time, other than I always have a coffee, like a cappuccino in the morning. And yeah, that would be my top tip. So don't go overboard on the dairy, because that is where I do think you could.
But cappuccino is dairy, basically, yeah.
The one, yeah, but it was boiled. So the way I looked at it, but that was the only thing I was having, a cappuccino in the morning.
What we'll do, Daryl, we will go to comments in a second.
Yes,
as we're flying through. Christine, have you got any questions from Daryl?
No, I've read somewhere that ladies need to wear head coverings when they're at religious sites.
Yeah, and that's the same for men as well. So if you go to, say, the Golden Temple in Delhi, then they will provide you with that stuff as well. So you don't have to take anything from there. But yeah, so a few of the religious sites, and one of the things they do say is long sleeve and long trousers if you can, because some of the religious sites, like I say, they will provide you with sarongs, but really they would rather you cover your legs when you're going into the religious sites, and cover your shoulders as well.
Fantastic.
And a decent pair of walking shoes, I presume, as well.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, you're going to be walking over uneven terrain, but it's not like you're going to be walking, you're trekking up mountains or anything like that. I wore trainers throughout. Most of the people on my trip had a good set of trainers, and that was comfortable walking shoes when they were out there, and it worked really well. So that's the one thing. I mean, like I say, it gets such a it's one of these places, India, people just don't know what to expect. So they pack everything, and then actually you don't use half of the stuff you've packed.
That's me. That's me on a cruise as well. So,
Yeah.
Dale, so CJ, what we're doing, take a little break from this at the moment. So, CJ, can you run through the actual any questions we have and any comments we have, so we can answer those, and then we're going to come back with some more as well. We're saying hi. So, Joe's saying hi, all. Hi, Joe. That's great.
Joe.
Hey, how you doing? Hello, hi, Sue. That's lovely. Hello. Hi. Hey. Hi, Gordon. Say hello to each other. That's great. This is a great opportunity, folks, to ask a question, especially Daryl a question as well. WhatsApp group. It's a great idea, Pete. Thank you. Absolutely. And it's definitely going to work. And as we said, what we'll do is we'll send out an email a week beforehand with our contact details to join us on WhatsApp, and we'll do all that. I'll talk to Daryl a bit later about that. Okay, $1 tips. Yeah, that was a great tip. That's a really good tip for that one, and a good tip for the people we're giving it to as well. Why tip in dollars and not rupees? Good question, Sally.
Well, the problem you get is if you buy rupees at the foreign exchange and they don't give you any low denominations, you could be tipping someone a $5 or a $10 each time. So I found that, like you say, if you take someone, it's just for the start of it until you get some smaller denominations. It just gives you a head start. That's what I'd suggest.
I agree. It's a great idea. And can you please post a link to re-listen to this? I'm in a cab. Basically, it's the link on YouTube, Helen, that as soon as we finish this, it will be there on playback. And the video that is playing in the solo holiday forum will be there as well. So you just literally have to autoplay. It should autoplay for you. So you can watch this on playback as soon as we finished on either the Facebook, on the Solo Cruise forum, or on our YouTube channel as well, on playback as well. And both those links are on the Solo Holiday forum. Is there a porterage on tour? If a great one, as far as putting cases on trains concerned.
Yeah. So you will be well looked after from that side. What I think will probably happen, speaking from experience, is you will probably have to put your case out the night before. So this is actually a really good question. I would suggest everybody take a bag, like an evening bag, because what you do find sometimes what they do, they load the cases on the coach. The coach driver will travel up and then they'll meet you in the next destination. So I would definitely take an overnight bag with you, like a duffel bag or something like that, or a backpack, just to have only a small one so you can keep. And do, Peter, really important, and you, Christine, if you can, prepare yourself a small toiletry bag as well.
Yeah, have that with you the whole time. Yeah, that's a really good question. Can't wait. No, can't wait. Absolutely. Hello, Rebecca. How are you? Can we tip with pound coins?
No. So coins is the big no. They just don't like them. They're hard to get rid of. So yeah, no pound coins. So that's why. Yeah, again, I know it's a bit of a pain with the $1, but that's why we suggest that.
Great question, but
at the beginning.
Great question. Advice on getting a visa, please. Obviously, you've done it, Daryl. Just to let you know, Mercury obviously sent out a link to a visa company that they recommended. And that's what I'm actually doing, because I'm all over the place. I've got so much going on. I contacted them. There's a chap called Dan, and I think it's the total cost is something like £69-70, and they then send you a link to literally do it online, which I've just started to do, and they've obviously got support as well. So I've just literally decided to do that. So I just started it yesterday, and tomorrow I'm going to go through everything, including things like uploading the passport and uploading the photograph and all those details as well. So I'm going to go through that company, and at the end of it, from that link, that's when you get to pay the fee, and that includes the visa, by the way, as well. So I thought it's very reasonable, to be honest with you, on that. And the good thing about that is you've got customer support. So if you haven't got a clue what you're doing, like me, you can go, help, what do I do? And of course they obviously know Mercury as well. So Darryl, what would your advice be?
Yeah, so there's two ways of doing it. You can take 2 hours aside, and I would suggest everybody take about 2 hours aside and complete it via the UK.gov website, and that'll take you through to the Indian visa. Or if you prefer, you can use the travel visa company that Peter suggests. All you have to do is refer them that you booked on a Mercury holiday. They will then send you across the details. Their telephone number is 01270 250 590. Now they will charge a premium. So how much did you say it was, Peter?
I
£69?
think it's about £69, something like that, including the visa.
Yeah, so it's approximately 20 quid if you do it yourself.
Yeah.
But
I
there's
expected more, Dal. So when
yeah.
when I heard it, I thought, you know what? If it's under 100, I'm definitely doing it.
Yeah, and do you know a lot of our customers do? A high percentage of our customers
Yeah.
will contact them. But if customers want to do it themselves, it's not a problem. Just bear in mind they will ask a couple of questions like where
And
were your
Joe
parents?
has just given good advice there, Joe. Absolutely. Thank you for that that one.
And how soon in advance should we get the visa
I always
sorted?
say about 2 weeks before. And the reason why, if you do it 3 weeks before, we've had customers in the past who've done it like it literally says it's valid for 30 days. They've done it as soon as they've been able to, and then they worry about the expiry date. Now, the visa doesn't actually start until you arrive in India, and then you get 30 days from there. However, my suggestion is do it about 2 weeks before you go.
Yeah, Joe, good question. Thank you for that. That's a good answer on that one.
Yeah, and then also, Peter, on the visa, it's really important when you get through to India, before you go through to passport control, there's this bit as you get through Delhi Airport, and they've got like these computers, and they go and ask you to log in. Do that because it will just speed up your time when you're at passport control, okay? And literally you'll see them, it'll be all signposted for any foreign nationals. And then basically these computers, and they just ask you a few details, and you just got to say yes, no, and type in a few things like your passport number. But that will make your life easier, because I didn't know about that until we got over there, and it was just a top tip that someone gave us. And yeah, it really, it paid off. So Sally's asked, is it a better rate at the airport? I've dropped out, have I?
No.
Oh no, Christine, you're there. It looks like poor. I'm not sure if
Pete's gone.
Pete's gone. So yeah, just a quick question on: is it a better rate at the airport? To be honest with you, I'm not sure. Personally, the reason I did it at the airport is I just wanted some cash on me, and I wasn't willing to shop around to save myself £5 or £10. You probably get better exchange rates once you're out in Delhi and these places. But like I say, the problem is with these tours, there's a lot of time you're not necessarily in a hotel that's in the center of town where you can just walk out and kind of find these things. So yeah, I just did it at the airport, and that was the advice I was given from quite a few people who had traveled to India beforehand. So one of Helen's just said about a cane that she occasionally uses. Is it okay for the terrain? That's absolutely fine, Helen. Like you say, a lot of our customers and a lot of solo customers who have been away to India will have some kind of walking tool just to help. So yeah, you'll be absolutely fine. And like I say, the good thing is you're going to have your local guides, the bus drivers, the coach drivers. Everybody will be there to help as well. And just one of my top tips, you've got Christine there, you've got Peter there. So just let them know if there's any issues from a walking point of view, if there's any long distances, and then they can always liaise with the tour manager on what he thinks or she thinks is best.
Sorry about that. I think I just disappeared from my
That's
internet.
all right.
Yeah,
we've got we've covered a couple of questions, Pete, which is stuff like walking difficulties, anything like that. So my suggestion was just, like I say, liaise with Peter or Christine if there's any problems whilst they're out there. But yeah, they can bring their walking stick. In fact, when I was in the Taj Mahal, I saw a Scottish guy with a Zimmer frame, and yes, there was quite a few steps, but he managed to do it. So I don't think it will be a problem to any of our guests. What is the luggage allowance on the plane? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure Pete's probably got it somewhere, and I'm thinking it says 23.
23
Yeah,
kilos on the Virgin one, and you got
brilliant.
also you got the hand luggage a little bit, and also you can I think you got the onboard one you can take as well.
Yeah, you can, because I've literally arrived back off Virgin Atlantic yesterday, and you can have up to 10 kilos as long as it fits in the overhead locker above.
Good question, Gordy. I want to know the answer to this as well.
So to be honest with you, I didn't, Peter, for the first few days, because, like I say, it was quite warm when I was out there, and it'd be similar. But what I did, I always had a jacket with me, like a light jacket to wear on if I was going into a temple, to cover my shoulders, my arms, etc. And then, like I say, when I went into a few places, they did give you a sarong, so you can bear that in mind. But yeah, you'll be all right with shorts. But like I say, if you've got something you can just quickly wrap round yourself for any of the temples, then yeah, bring it along.
Will you get less bites if you're wearing trousers rather than
I
shorts?
think,
That
yeah,
was my.
do you know what, Pete? It's a funny question, that, because I'm one of these people. I go away with my wife gets bitten all the time. I don't. So different people have different reactions. Yes, you are gonna obviously protect yourself more if you have got some form of like linen trousers on. That probably wouldn't be a bad thing. But you can wear shorts as well.
And would it be a good idea to be able to will we have a chance to get some of those while we're there?
What's that? Get some of
Trousers and tops and
Yeah. Oh,
things.
yeah. So that's Christ. You can't literally walk down the street without someone trying to sell you some form of
Yeah.
something. I actually bought one of the weird things about me, and they kind of laugh about in the office, but I like Indian pajamas. So I came back with 3 sets of Indian pajamas when I'm there. So
Daryl,
yeah,
you should be wearing them on the live.
I should have, to be honest with you. I refer to myself as the Indian Prince when I wear it, and they all take the mick out of me in the office. But
I
yeah,
love that idea.
honestly, Peter, once you go Indian pajamas, you won't go back. I'm telling you now. So yeah, highly recommend it.
Indian pajamas, yeah. Okay,
Honestly,
we see
yeah,
what we can do.
yeah. Honestly, and do you know what? You could probably get away with wearing them for best as well. So it covers all angles.
Fantastic. What about women in shorts? From Janet says.
Yes, yet again, fine. But the only thing is, you are going to a country that is, like you say, is still seen as third world. Unfortunately, women's rights are not as good as the UK. So one of the things I would always be careful of is, yet again, just making sure you've got things to cover your legs when you go into any of the temples and stuff from a lady. So yeah, wear shorts by all means. I mean, what you will find is when you're out and about, it's very male dominated. And the reason that is, a lot of the ladies are at home. So when you're out and about and you're touring all these destinations, you'll see a lot less women than you will men. But that's just their culture.
I just got a quick little message for CJ in the background, just to say that if I do disappear again, that can't come back in, if you can come in, CJ, and obviously at the right time end the show as well, because we have to click end stream basically, just to give CJ a message in the background there if my internet drops out again. I worry that I've not got enough time to get on and off trains.
You will do. So this is where you get, again, your tour managers who's looking after you throughout. This is where they'll be prepping you. Don't worry. Before we went live, me, Pete, and Christine were talking about the trains. Don't worry, you're not going to have to hold on to the side of them. You will be in a nice class, so you will get a really good train experience. So yeah, don't worry about anything like that. You'll get pre-warned before you're getting off. So yeah, please don't panic over that, because you will be well looked after on the trains. And the Indian trains are a really nice experience, and I'd highly recommend it.
Thank you, Susan. That's great to know. I will. I said I'm gonna get that sorted out tomorrow myself. What I also, just to let everybody know, there are 2 events that we are going to be running this from the Solo Holiday Forum, which is great for our members who are on the trip. First of all, we're going to have a photo competition for the members who are on the trip. All you have to do is obviously be a member with having booked with us, which you have, and be on the actual tour itself. And quite simply, you can post, there'll be a post there on the Solo Holiday Forum in the Facebook. And all you need to do is in comments, upload a photograph or 2 photographs or 3 photographs. It's loads of fun. It's for the entire trip. And then it stays alive until we get back as well for 3 or 4 days to give those who hadn't had an opportunity to do it. And there will be a wonderful £100 voucher as a prize for the best photo, which will be off a new booking with Passion for Cruises on the solo holiday side of a new booking. And the beauty about that is what happens is once we've finished, the wonderful Darryl will select a short list of around 7, 8, whatever he thinks, numbers of his favourite photos. And then the members will decide who the winner is. So that's one of the wonderful things that we do. And literally, we can talk about that and explain how it works as well while we're there. It's great fun to do, wonderful photos, and we will make a wonderful video at the end of it of the best of our photos. And the second thing we're going to do is we are going to have our prize draw. Again, it's free to enter. What happens is at the end of the holiday, quite simply, we will give everybody who's on this trip a raffle ticket, and there will be £150 voucher prize for the one who wins. And if we can pick up a few little things on the way, we will do as well. It's great fun. Christine's, you've done that yourself, haven't you, on a hosted cruise? So you experienced it. It's completely free, and it's quite simply, you write your name on the back of a raffle ticket, and you know, we can be bribed. We can't, you know, and it's great fun. So these are 2 wonderful things that we would do, and we'll tell you all about it as well. Are we meeting at Heathrow first or in Delhi when we land? Helen, again, I don't know who's with me and who's with Christine on that one, but I think we're both of us, the WhatsApp group we will have. And for myself, Christine, I'm not sure about yourself, when I'm in Heathrow Terminal 3, I will post on the WhatsApp group going, hey, I'm in this bar, this coffee place or whatever. Let's meet up and say hi, and then we can be together. Christine?
Yeah, I've done similar before in the past. Obviously, is everybody coming on the Heathrow flight, or are they
No, you
flying
will
from
have
other
people.
destinations?
Yeah, there are some people flying from both Manchester and Glasgow as well. So just
And
bear
what they
that in
can
mind.
do, Daryl, they can post, I'm flying from Manchester. Please meet me in this particular venue. You know, once you've gone through passport control and stuff like that. So that would work great. How many of us are there on the trip, Daryl?
So I think the numbers that I last counted before I went to America was 17 on each trip from Passion for Cruises. So yeah, so a nice number. And what's great about that is, like you say, is going to give you plenty of time to get around and see all of these amazing places that you're going to be visiting along your way.
Great question from Joan here about the toilet facilities and what to bring with you, Daryl.
Yeah, so that's a really good question, and it's something that before we went live we actually talked about, and it's a hard one as a gentleman, because obviously it's a bit easier for us. But one of the things I was saying to Christine beforehand is I'm very much of the sense of, if you can take some loo roll with you, some antiseptic wipes with you, because the toilets are pretty good in all the tourist, where there's a lot of Western tourists go. It's just if you need to go, and it's like you say, the train's an example that some people are like, oh my good God. So yeah, I would always have some form of toiletries with you, just to keep yourself as you go, because like you say, for them, a lot of the ones, when you use the public toilets, they have showers, because that's their culture. So yeah, I would take some toilet roll, a couple of packs of tissues, just to protect yourself. And going back to what I said earlier, antiseptic wipes and some form of soap, hand gel, yeah.
And I guess obviously we packed it in our suitcases, don't we?
Well,
So
I packed it in my normal, because it's like you say, long as it's not over 100 mils on the hand sanitizer, you're fine. But yeah, pack that in your suitcase, take that with you, and then just make sure you've got that on your travel bag. It's just to protect yourself. Like you say, hopefully you won't be in that situation, because the good thing about these, yet again, the tour managers, the bus drivers, they know where to stop. They're not going to take you to dives or anything like that, because it wouldn't benefit them. So,
course.
but it is, I always think if you go there and you're cautious and you're protected, it just makes life a little bit easier.
Have we got any more questions, CJ? Because we're 35 minutes in now, so I think
Well, I'm just gonna, while we're waiting for some questions, quickly.
Here we have. I plan on going to the lounge and the boarding before. Yeah, please go ahead, Darryl. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what to pack? Obviously, as we said, just to recap on this, is really important. So sunglasses, sunscreen, hat in the summer. So it is going to be warm. So I would suggest everybody have a hat with them. Okay. Comfortable walking shoes, as Christine mentioned. As we said, you want to make sure whether you plug, you get the right plug. So you get an Asia plug, because like you say, I think it's up to 220 volts and it's 2 pins. Okay. So remember that, because if you want to charge your phone, your cameras, you'll need that.
It's an Asia plug, 2 pin.
Yeah, that's it.
From UK. And the best place to get that, Darryl?
Boots or Superdrug, they all sell these now. So
for Asia or for India, basically.
Asia is India. So so you're absolutely fine. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. So you're fine. Personal toiletries, first aid kit is always just worth having. I mean, that's each to their own, but yeah, it's worth having. A couple of rehydration powders just in case you are suffering at all. But as we alluded to earlier, drink lots of water. That's what I found worked for me, and I didn't have a problem. And then plasters. And one thing I did take, and everybody took it, were stomach settlers. Not that I had to use it, Peter, but yet again, it's worth having a couple of packs of that just in case.
Okay. And can we drop a suitcase off as soon as we get to Heathrow? I guess it depends when we can check in on that one.
Yeah, well, I mean, 3 hours before is check-in usually with Virgin Atlantic, so I don't think you're gonna have a problem there. With credit cards, not a problem, Peter. A lot of places will take credit cards, so don't worry about that. I actually used my credit card in all the hotels just to settle any bills and stuff, so that's not an issue. And on that,
depends what you want to buy, Sue.
Yeah. But on that one, Peter, as I said earlier, I worked on about £75 a day, and I actually came back with I didn't overspend, because all your meals are catered for. So again, as you said, it's what you want to buy.
It's when you're buying things more than anything else. Wonderful. Fantastic.
I think Mercury recommend between £50 and £100 a day if you look on their dossier.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, is there any other questions you have, Christine?
No, I think it's covered it all for now.
Fantastic. So just to remind everybody, we will set up the WhatsApp group. The admin will send that out a week before our actual trips, which would be fantastic, and we can then communicate that way as well. There's also the event. Don't forget, there's the event there. So any issues, but also you can call Darryl and the team at any point. If you've got any questions, they can answer those questions as well. I think we've got everything done. I think, Darryl, to be honest with you,
so there's 2 things, Peter, I'm going to just leave you with before you go. Embrace the Indian food. It is the best food you can have. I went vegetarian when I was over there, and I was just living on dal curries, the best things I'd ever tasted, so flavorsome. So really embrace the Indian food, because it is stunning. And my second thing is the Taj Mahal. I promise everybody, when you see it, it is the most beautiful building you will ever see. Honestly, you'll come up the walkway. They call it the gate. You'll go through the steps. You'll come out. You'll see the Taj Mahal. And if you're not breathtaken, I will be very, very surprised, because it is an absolutely stunning piece of architecture.
Fantastic. Well, folks, it's not long to go now. Thank you all for watching. Some people will be watching on playback as well. If you've got any additional questions, I'm sure Darryl will be watching the comments on the post as well. Do that, or give them a call. Christine, I look forward to following your wonderful trip. I'll be going before you. It's literally just over 2 weeks until I get ready to go. I cannot wait. This is an incredible tour. It's a tour of a lifetime. It really is. And I look forward to seeing everybody. I will be posting every day, by the way. So I once I've been on a couple of I've been there 2 days. I will do a blog every day on the Solar Holiday Forum. So all those on Christine's tour, you can follow that as well, and you can get an idea of what you can expect. Thank you, Christine, for coming in the live. Really appreciate it. Darryl, fantastic advice. Absolutely brilliant advice. Very quickly, thank you, CJ, in the background. you know, because I disappeared and I almost disappeared again. Really appreciate all your work. A lot of stuff we hadn't had a chance to show, but because the questions it's all about the questions from the members about what to expect. I think we've probably answered those, and these are going to be 2 trips of a lifetime. So everyone who's booked up, amazing. If you haven't booked a trip like this to India, give Daryl a call and he can tell you exactly what is available. So Daryl, thank you. Christine, thank you.
Thank
CJ,
you.
thank you. And more
Thanks.
importantly, thank you to everybody